Hi everyone, this is William from the Headphone Experience, and I'm here tonight with my first impressions of the Hifiman Deva Pro. This is a headphone that can be used either wired or Bluetooth. This was loaned to me for review by Hifiman and currently sells for $329. Like I said, this is both Bluetooth and can be used as wired. It's full size. It's over the ear, and it's uses a planar magnetic driver. I didn't know, so I had to look it up. What was the difference between the normal Hifiman Deva and the Deva Pro? Well, the first obvious difference is the black ear pads and headband on the Pro model, but the Pro also uses stealth magnets, which I don't believe the normal Deva does, and it also has two connections for your headphone cable on both the left and right ear cup, where the normal Deva, I believe, only uses one connection, and I'll talk about that more in a couple minutes. So this headphone uses stealth magnets, and my understanding of the stealth magnets is they're basically round on one side instead of a square shape to the magnet. If you look at it from the end, it's kind of a half circle, and I think the flat side is towards the membrane. I believe these use magnets on both sides of the membrane, and then the rounded side points away, and the idea is that as the sound flows between the magnets, it has a smoother path and it doesn't interfere or distort the sound. And Hifiman's using the stealth magnets on the Aria now, and I believe it started out on the Susvara, their flagship headphone. So anyway, so it started out on a $6,000 headphone and has worked its way all the way down to a $329 headphone. Hifiman lists the impedance of this headphone at 18 ohms, the sensitivity at 93.5 decibels at 1 milliwatt. The weight is listed as 360 grams. According to my scale, that came in at 369, so we're pretty close. The Bluetooth unit that snaps on, that I'll show you in a minute, the claimed weight of that is another 25 grams. It came in at 26 on my scale, so altogether you're looking at about 385, 390 grams, which still makes this a very light headphone for a full size. The Bluetooth chipset, according to Hifiman, is a Qualcomm QCC5124, and the DAC chip is a Hifiman Himalaya, which is actually an R2R type of DAC. I would have assumed something this small, it would be a standard Delta Sigma DAC, but it is an R2R DAC. I did want to give you a closer look at the headphone. And uses, there is a little bit of, well, trying to see, there's like, yeah, there is a little bit of taper to the ear pads. They are a little bit thicker in the back. I believe this is synthetic leather. They've got, I'm not sure what this is. It's kind of it's a cloth inside to it, very soft. The pads are very soft. They're very comfortable. Like I said, they're lightweight. The headband is well padded. The adjustments are click adjustments, and they have quite a bit of range here for different head sizes. I'm using them actually closer to the small end. They do swivel here at the yokes, and they have quite a bit of twist to them. Unlike the older Sandara, which used a similar type headband but had almost no twist to it. These do have some twist, and I will, now that I mentioned the Sandara, I did get a chance to compare these, and I'll tell you what I found out in a few minutes. I did want to mention that Hifiman claims a signal to noise ratio of the DAC. It's combination. Here, I'll show it to you now. Not going to make you wait any longer. Right here, this snaps onto your left ear cup, and you can see it's got a TRRS 3.5 millimeter plug on it. And basically what this is a combination battery pack and DAC and headphone amp all built into one. And like I said, Hifiman claims a battery life of 8 hours. I haven't run it that long, so I don't know. This headphone also comes with a cable to listen to it wired, and it's about 5 feet long, and it comes with dual 3.5 millimeter connections, one for each ear cup. At the amp end, it has a 3.5 millimeter plug with a 6.3 millimeter adapter. And it's kind of a rubberized material. It's similar to what came on my Sandara. The headphone also comes with a cable that's about, this one's about 6 feet long. This is to charge your battery pack, and it has your standard USB at the other end, and I guess this would be like a mini USB at the charger end. And doesn't seem to take too long to charge it. I've only done it once. I don't know how long it takes from dead. The battery had a partial charge when I got this in. What is unique about this headphone is that it does have your dual 3.5 millimeter plugs, and you can use this with pretty much any cable that has your dual 3.5 millimeter, you know, single-ended TRS connections. But what is unique is this is set up to be run from the battery pack hooked up to only the left ear cup, which uses a TRRS connection. And you can run this headphone. I did try it. I took a single cable with just one TRRS stereo connection and plugged it into just the left ear cup and ran it off of an amp, and it seems to work just fine that way. I don't know if you can run this with a balance cable though, because I'm not sure how this works inside, how the internal wiring works, where both channels are running off the one side. So I don't want to try that. I don't want to take a chance of damaging my amp. I'll try to find out before I do my final review on this if you can use a balanced cable from a balanced amp. But anyway, where am I at? I got lost again. This is my second try on this video because I got lost the first time, but I guess I'm going to talk about the sound now. So first of all, I want to talk about this wired, running it off of a headphone amp. And first of all, it's pretty easy to drive. It doesn't take a whole lot of power. And the sound I would describe as basically neutral, but with a little bit of a bump in the mid bass, maybe 3-4 decibels. It does have a little bit of bump, and I did get a chance to compare these to the Sandara. And as far as the tone balance, they're actually about the same as my Sandara right now, but my Sandara, which is a original model, it's about 3 years old. Right now I have Kennerton ECL02 ear pads on it, which give it about a 3 or 4 decibel boost in the bass, and this is actually, the bass is about the same on this, so that tells me that this actually has about 3 or 4 more decibels of boost in the bass than the Sandara does with the stock ear pads. Excuse me. Although there is a newer model, later model of the Sandara, which I haven't heard, so I'm not sure if they've made any changes to the Sandara since its original model. The sound of this, very clean and detailed, and has good imaging, has good sound stage, and to be honest, it does sound very similar to the Sandara. I mean, the tone balance is similar, the size of the sound stage is similar, The imaging is similar, but I didn't do a whole lot of comparing. I maybe spent half an hour to an hour comparing this to the Sundara. Both wired, hooked up to a couple of different amps. But I would say this does have a little bit more mid-bass than the Sundara, but I'd have to give a slight edge to the Sundara as far as separation of different instruments and voices. It just seems like each instrument and voice is just a little bit more distinct, with a little more separation, a little more distance between each one with the Sundara. But like I said, I only spent maybe at the most an hour comparing the two. And I do want to go back before I do my final review and do a little more comparison there. But this, I am really surprised. To be honest, I'm not into Bluetooth. I haven't done, this is only my second review of a Bluetooth headphone ever. And the first one was like 3 years ago. Trust me, this one is far better. And I was actually surprised to find out this is a headphone that sounds very close to the Sundara, and I love the Sundara. I've recommended the Sundara for 3 years now as my favorite headphone that I've heard in that price range, and this is actually a little bit lower in price than the Sundara and includes Bluetooth. So anyway, I did try it with Bluetooth, and right now, the only Bluetooth source I have is coming from my HP desktop computer. And I don't know much about Bluetooth. I don't know much about the different formats. I guess there's several now. I don't know what format my computer is putting out. I'm assuming there are others that have better quality. I do have an iPhone 11. I don't know yet if this is compatible. To be honest, I don't have a clue how to do most things with my iPhone 11. I just haven't learned yet. I didn't have never owned a smartphone until like 6 months ago, not even, like 4 months ago, and I'm still trying to figure out how to make phone calls on the thing. So anyway, if it is capable of putting out Bluetooth, I will figure that out, and I'll figure out how to get it going to this, and that might be even better. But for now, the Bluetooth coming from my HP computer, it sounds almost as good as being wired. To me, there is a slightly less, I guess it's not really the music that sounds different. The tone balance sounds the same and all that. It's kind of like if I would go from like CD quality to MP3 quality, where I'm losing a little bit of spatial information, which can affect the imaging and soundstage. And that's really the only difference I'm hearing. And I'm assuming that is because the format coming from my computer is probably limited in the amount of information it's transmitting. So I'll try to find out if there is something better, if my iPhone is even compatible with this. I don't know. So in the next couple weeks, I'll try to get together a full review of this and dig into the Bluetooth a little better. But like I said, just the signal coming from my computer sounds really good. It's almost the quality of being wired. I'm just hearing a slightly less of a quality sound, and like I said, mostly just a little bit less instrument separation and a little bit less spatial information, where I'm hearing differences in distances to different instruments. Also, using my desktop computer, I seem to have about 30 feet of range with this, so I can't reach all over my whole house, but I can cover about half the house, and that is going through walls and that are drywalled both sides, and floors and ceilings and all that. So, but it seems like I've got about 30 feet of range. So hopefully I can get this worked out where I can use it with my phone and then just carry my phone around and be able to listen to music. So anyway, I plan to be back in a couple weeks with a full review of this. I'll try to dig deeper into the whole Bluetooth thing, learn more about it, and spend a little more time comparing this to the Sundara. Also, I still have an older Hifiman HE500 and a HE560, and I'll try to compare it to those a little bit. And I do have the new Aria, the stealth version, in right now, and I'm going to try to get a first impressions out on that in a couple days. And no, it's not. This is not up there with the Aria. The Aria is pretty outstanding, but I'm going to save that for my first impressions in a couple days. So I will get back to you. And once again, this is William from the Headphone Experience. If this video has helped you, please give me a thumbs up. If please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And you are all welcome to join us over at the Headphone Experience on Facebook. We're up to 13.4 thousand members over there. So I'd like to see you all over there. And once again, thanks for watching my video.